Hi everyone, my name is Ted Shelton and I'm delighted to welcome you all to our TikTok Incubator 2023 kickoff webinar. I'd like to start this session by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we're filming this webinar, the Gadigal people, and paying my respect to their elders past, present and emerging. Today I feel very fortunate to be joined by three of our most advanced e-commerce marketers on TikTok who are going to be sharing what's worked for them across creative, measurement and product. We're also going to be joined by our TikTok creative strategist lead, who's going to chat through the latest and greatest creative trends. Before we start, I do want to welcome you all to the Incubator program this year. Formed last year, Incubator was created to bring together the Australian D2C community to connect, share, learn, and ultimately grow their businesses. This year, we're going even bigger and better, starting with this webinar, closely followed by city meetups and our retreat before we shift our focus to helping you deliver sales over the key November sales period. So thank you again for being with us and welcome to Incubator. Welcome everyone and a big welcome to our panelists today. I feel very grateful to be here with Brodie Capel, Digital Manager at HighSmile, Kim Zorn, Global Performance Director at Princess Polly, Stephanie Squadrito, Growth Manager at Bedthreads, and Ant Diva, Creative Strategist Lead at TikTok. Welcome guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. We're going to jump straight into it. They say on TikTok that it's a journey from an advertising perspective. I would love to talk to you guys and ask about your journey today on TikTok. So Kim, we'd love to start with you. 3 years on the platform. It's been a ride.
Yeah, it certainly has been like a journey for us. We first mentioned TikTok on the roadmap in February 2019. And yeah, it took us a while to start. I think like at the beginning we didn't really know like what resources do we need, what effort do we have to put into creative. And we launched our account in October 2019 and launched ads I think in Jan 2020. So we had our 3 years anniversary on the platform, which is so exciting.
Congrats.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a rocky start, right? Like we didn't really know where to begin, and then we quite easily saw that we can just create content with an iPhone, jumping on trends. We explored the platform, and we now hired a TikTok coordinator that just creates content every day for us. And yeah, we had like an amazing journey. Like TikTok has really helped us grow.
Awesome. Brodie, I think it's your 3 year, come up to your 3 year anniversary too, so congrats there.
Thank you.
Similar sort of journey and looking through the ad account, the tipping point for you is really around that 2021 Cyber Weekend period.
Yeah, 100% it was. So for us, again, we launched about 3 years ago and spent a solid 8 to 10 months just trying to work it all out, work out what we knew from other platforms that could be transferred, what we didn't know and had to learn as we went. And yeah, you're spot on. It was luckily for us right around that time that Cyber Monday, Black Friday came up that we kind of worked out what was going to work for us and hit our stride and just scaled massively from there.
Awesome. And Steph, 2022 was the big year for you on TikTok.
Yes, it was. So we launched our account in late 2019, but our content was very sporadic for a couple of years. We just didn't have the resources to quite make it work. But about a year ago, we hired a video producer who's done the most amazing job. And our PR manager now focuses primarily on influencer marketing, so getting a pipeline of creator content coming through. So having content to work with really changes the game on TikTok. So with our ads, we launched in mid-2021. But again, it was very sporadic. And it wasn't until last year where we really hit our stride. We had a big sale in June. And we experimented with a few new things. So since then, TikTok's been an always-on platform for us, for our ads. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing your amazing journeys to date. I think it was amazing to hear that TikTok has played such a massive role in helping you build your business over the past couple of years. Would love to, as marketing experts, understand what role TikTok plays in your overall marketing strategy. So Brodie, I'll throw that one to you.
I mean, I guess for us, it serves multiple purposes and it's kind of a Swiss Army knife of traffic for us. So strictly speaking, it is a performance media channel. It does have to drive performance, but we know that the reach we're getting on it and the awareness that we're getting on it is also playing a part in brand and awareness, and we can see that sort of uplift that when we promote a certain product in a different market or something like that on TikTok, we see not only in our direct-to-consumer space, but in Amazon and other marketplaces and other retailers in those regions, those same products have an uplift. So it's very full funnel and very very vital to our overall business beyond just that direct-to-consumer conversion.
Awesome. Steph?
Yeah, so I think when we were first looking at launching on TikTok, it was all about new customer acquisition. So we thought it was a way to reach new audiences that we hadn't reached on other platforms before. So it was a younger demographic, a lot of people in the US we were finding growth with. So about 50% of our followers on TikTok are now in the US. But I think now we're starting to take a more full funnel approach with it. So yeah, really building that whole funnel.
Awesome. And Kim?
I think it's the same for us. We really started with that channel being a performance channel, but what we found recently is that a lot of product discovery and research is happening on TikTok, especially with like TikTok search being such a strong format of TikTok now. So for us, it's really like full funnel. We see a lot of new customers coming from TikTok organically and also via paid performance placement. And we play with the platform a lot with influencers and content creators. We have a huge organic strategy on TikTok. We shifted a lot of our budget to TikTok. And then we also have obviously a really strong paid performance strategy. Yeah, we see lots of new customers coming from there as well, but also repeat purchases.
Awesome. Let's talk about creativity. Creativity is such an important part of the platform, and you guys all do such a fantastic job. We know that it drives 75% of performance. So we'd love to touch on creativity, and we're going to spend some time talking about creative now. You're all building incredible content. I would love to get some learnings from all of you in terms of what has worked, what you've learned, what you can share with those of us on the webinar. So Steph, I'm going to pass to you to talk about bed threads and how you guys have approached creativity.
Yeah, so I think with our creative, the main thing is making it look as native to the platform as possible. So shooting on iPhone, editing within the app, making sure that the fonts are really native to TikTok so it looks like anything else you'd see on the For You page. I think that's the number one thing when it comes to creative. And then it's also jumping on the trending audio. So it could be something really rogue and random that you can see in your For You page feed. But then thinking about how you can translate that to something that makes sense for your brand and your product. But yeah, then really tapping into what your community wants and is asking for. So replying to comments and creating a new video with that reply in there. So you're really speaking to what your customers and your audience want from you. For us, that's a lot of different color combinations that we speak to. So colors are a huge part of our brand. And we find that our audience is always asking, okay, can I see rust and terracotta, mineral and lilac? And we'll reply and create a video that shows those colors. So it's really speaking to what your audience wants from you. And that's a great way to get new ideas as well, as like listen to your audience and what they're asking for and what they want to see from you.
That's great. Yeah, I noticed you laughing out. There's a build on that.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the most underutilized things to look for ideas from is actually from the actual comments. And it's such a great way to actually, spur ideas, but then it shows how authentic the actual responses are, that it is actually, drawn from a consumer insight or someone's behaved, someone's interacted with you, and then you're actually, coming back and actually demonstrating that or answering that question in a real way, which just connects so well with people on TikTok.
Awesome. Brody, how are you approaching things at HighSmile?
I mean, I think very similar to what Steph has touched on. So for us, the content that we found works best and the content that we double down on is very much content that feels super organic and natural to TikTok. It's something that you don't want people to think they're actually watching an ad as much as possible. And I think really it's about being aware of what is going on with trends, as you mentioned, trending audios or things like that, making things feeling supernatural. So again, like you touched on, making sure the fonts are right, making sure voiceovers look and sound like voiceovers that TikTok generates. All those sorts of things just really help to drive home that this isn't an ad that you're seeing, this is an organic piece of content that the algorithm thinks you should be seeing.
Awesome. And you guys have really unique content pillars. I think you found some things that are working well for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we kind of, I guess, have half a dozen verticals that we bucket ads into, whether that be, lab style content, which is explained, whether that be TikTok made me buy it type content, UGC, a few other ones that are, I guess, hybrids of some of these, or inspired by ads on other platforms. And for us, we can very easily sort of see whether it be a product or a piece of UGC or whatever, it's going to slot into one of those categories really well, and we can almost template it, knowing what works and what doesn't work within that pillar.
Awesome.
And that's one of my things that I tell everyone is basically look at High Smile's account and you look at those repeatable formats that they've got. And once you've got a format that you know that works, you can then just apply that format no matter how many, say the labs format, which I just adore as an explainer video concept, that you can then apply that no matter what new product you've got, what ingredient the product is, what consumer truth that product appeals to. You can have that single idea, but you could create maybe 50, 100 videos off that single idea.
Kim, over to you.
Yeah, I do love the High Smile videos as well. I feel like I see the purple coming up in my For You page, and I was like, I know it's High Smile. So
yeah.
Then we're doing our job then.
Yeah, you're definitely doing a great job. I think for us, organically, we do a lot with like content creators, but we also started dipping into like trends that are not brand related to grow like our followers organically, which is like recently did like a video, what do people have on their desks? And that started to take off as well. But in terms of like paid performance, what works extremely well for us is Spark Ads. Content creators, it has our longest view through rate. And yeah, they do extremely well for us. And also, I love the TikTok environment because you can be super authentic and engaging. Like you don't have to like look at your aesthetic feed, right? Like you can just be yourself and you can communicate with customers in a completely new way that you couldn't really communicate before. So yeah, we're really like leaning into like content creators, but we also have an amazing team. Our team at Princess Polly HQ, they're always willing to like jump on new trends, and it really doesn't cost us a lot of money, right? Like you don't need a high production. All our content is filmed on iPhone, and some trends are filmed within a couple minutes with like a green screen or overlay, and that thing goes viral, and then you probably spend like 10 minutes on creating that piece of content.
Awesome.
I always like to use this phrase like personality beats perfection. And that
Yeah.
goes to that kind of more lo-fi approach, more agile approach. People just connect at the energy that you bring, at the storytelling that you bring, not the quality of the production. It's what the story that you've got to bring your product or your service to life. And I think it's just like really unique and different from what marketers have had to do in other platforms. And once you get your head around that, I think it just unlocks so much opportunities of what actually can be a story you can tell to bring your kind of content and your messages to life.
Yeah, and just to add to that as well, I think prior to TikTok and our focus on video content, most of our content was really polished and perfect. So we shot a lot of stuff in studio, a lot of campaign imagery that was beautiful. And I think there's still a place for that on our website or on other channels, but on TikTok it just doesn't work. People want real, raw, real bedrooms. They want to see what our product looks like in a real scenario. So just taking away that polish and that filter on things has really worked for us.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And that's the perfect segue to us reviewing some creative, because we have a couple of pieces of creative from every brand speaking today. We're going to start with Bedthreads. So if we can watch the first piece of creative from Bedthreads, you'll see an example of what Steph was just talking about.
If you love this linen combo, here's how you can get the look. Lavender and lilac.
Love
Steph,
that.
it's an amazing
The
piece of
sound.
content. Just I think what you spoke to, what do you love about it, the creative process, and then I'm going to get Ant just to give some more colour.
Yeah. So there's a few things going on in that video, I think. So it's obviously a creator-led video. So it's Paulina Meshkova, a creator from New York, that we work with quite a lot. She's got a beautiful bedroom. She shoots really nicely. So it's repurposing that content that she's given us and then introducing our website experience to the platform. So that screen recording of our build your own bundle, showing how you can get that exact color combination in your room, get it delivered right to you. So it's breaking down the colors, what it looks like in a real room, and then how you can have that website experience. So, you know, it kind of gamifies the whole thing, I think, which is a fun experience. And then that did so well. So I think we did our first version of that kind of ad about a year ago. And we just have reiterated it time and time again with different color combinations, different creative videos, and it honestly continues to work.
That's
So
good.
it's a winning
I
format.
think we've actually got the second video,
Yeah.
so we might just play that one too.
Yeah. So taking out the creator from the beginning and leading with the website experience, I think it captures people's attention straight away. But it's something that we hadn't seen before. So it was a bit of an experiment, a bit of a random one we were trying to just put out there and see if it worked. And it did. So it was a good payoff for that one.
That's great. And I know you've got to build on this too, right?
Yeah, the second video performed better than the first video. And that kind of intuitively goes against a lot of the stuff we talk about on the creative that works on TikTok. That it is such a creator-led platform that people think that you need to always lead with creators. But if you think about the For You feed experience and when you're actually scrolling up and down the For You feed, and if you just see 10 creator videos and then you see this website demonstration that's kind of you've seen in other formats before. You may have been on Bedthread's website before, you've been on another homeware retailer's website before, you know that experience. It then becomes unmissable for you and it's like, what is this? It's not the regular content, and that's why that would have performed better. Is that it did create this unexpected moment. And I think that's the thing for brands to really get their head around, is how you experiment and you find the format that works for your brand. That what's that thing that is unexpected for your brand that still feels native, like it completely felt native for TikTok, but it was unexpected for anyone to do that you said that you hadn't seen other brands do it. And that's what you want to tap into. What has other brands not done, but still feel enough TikTok nativity that it's kind of feel not like an ad that people will skip past. And that's why I just love those.
Yeah, and I think it leans into what makes Bedthreads special. So it kind of disseminates that into one really short video. It's like, it's the colors, it's the website experience, and then it will make your bedroom beautiful. So it's kind of like touches all those things in a really short video, which is what we love.
And then every time you've got a new product, a new colour, a new range, a new style, you can continue to reiterate that format and keep it fresh in the For You feed so it feels like new content for people.
Love it. So many great learnings. Let's review the next video.
This is the V34 range, this is the serum, this is the foam. Let me show you why they're so amazing at concealing the yellow stains in your teeth. Here we have the serum, and here we have the foam. We essentially took the same concept of purple shampoo and did it for your teeth. So V34 uses this deep violet tone that neutralizes the yellow stains in your teeth. In just 2 minutes of brushing, the serum is going to be the most effective way to conceal stains, but the foam is just 15 seconds and is a really fast and convenient way to brighten your teeth. The foam is the latest addition to the V34 range, where we're going to continue to
The purple.
Brilliant. I think, turning TikTok purple is definitely a thing. And you guys are doing a fantastic job of doing that.
I think, with this one, it leans into something that we've sort of been doing for a while now, which is focusing the first few seconds on being as eye-catching as possible.
Yeah.
So for us, in this instance, it was that sort of purple wipe and that catching people's attention, not knowing what this is. And then this sort of sits into one of those verticals, in this case, one of our lab explained style ones. And this one did particularly well, I think because it actually focused on two separate products. And one of our frequently asked questions was, what's the difference between these two products? They both essentially do the same thing, but one's, I guess, more powerful, it takes a bit longer, one's quicker and on the go, but not quite as effective. And it really touches on, in a somewhat authority figure way, but also in a way that feels quite TikTok-y and fast-paced and casual in a sense. The difference between the two, and sort of, they're both great. Pick which one you want, depending on, do you want 15 seconds or 2 minutes type thing.
Yeah. No, it tapped into everything that we say is best practice on TikTok. Even the way, not only visually, there was a hook at the start, but also from a sound perspective. People are watching TikTok with 97% of people are watching TikTok with sound turned on, which is completely different to what we've all kind of made ads in digital marketing across the last kind of 10 years of mobile social platforms. And if you really watch that start of that video again, you'll notice that the sound actually doesn't really kick in until maybe 3 seconds in. And again, thinking about the For You feed, when creators are talking down the barrel of the camera or music's coming at you, that actually stops your actual audio experience because there's very little micro sound occurring in that first 3 seconds, which again, combined with the actual visual of the swipe, actually changes, gets people in.
It almost makes you feel uneasy.
Yeah, it's like, why is that not happening? And then you get in, then it's at the hook then, all those fast edits, and then that, exactly what you said around the comparison, that's a consumer truth, that people are already asking that. And that's where you lean into your brand and you lean into your consumer truths and things people are asking for your ideas and turn those into those compelling videos.
Awesome. Next piece of creative, please.
TikTok made me buy it. It's like purple shampoo, but for your teeth. I really hope this works. 1, 2, okay, 2 pumps. Ooh, okay. Okay, so this is my before, and it's kind of hard to tell, but the after definitely made my teeth more white and brighter all around.
Yeah, I mean, that one I think is very native TikTok. But again, it hits some key points very early on. Within the first couple of seconds, TikTok made me buy it. That's a trend that everyone has been exposed to on their feeds. And in our experience, TikTok does make people buy things. On top of that, again, catches with eye-catching bright purple teeth, fast cut edits and fast-paced unboxing experience. I think in this instance, the creator even showed some skepticism. I really hope this works. Then a before and after of it really working and them being really positive as the outcome. So it feels really organic, but it hits all those key points, and it grabs attention. It keeps you engaged because I don't think there's an edit that's longer than 1.5 seconds or something in that ad. And it just hooks people in.
Those fast edits are just so important from a TikTok perspective. They're those things that keep people watching. Is being able to actually see those fast edits is just kind of does something to people's brains and keeps you watching. And it's no different from editing techniques that we've used in other media before, but in the short format, it just has importance to it. The other element is, again, that visual hook at the start. And it was that honesty that you're talking about, Brodie, is that's the thing that connects even just from a tonal level, that you kind of are just connected more at an emotional level and a human level with that piece of marketing messaging. That's awesome.
It's just triggered a memory of something you shared at the retreat last year, that you actually look at the Creative Insights tool right to the point that the engagement happens, and then we'll just tend to cut that to the start of the video to drive higher engagement.
100%. So for that particular piece of creative, we would have probably tried 10 or 15 different first 5 seconds of opening clips to see which one is getting that highest rate of stopping people from scrolling, or thumb stop ability we call it, and how powerful that opener is at getting people to stop. We knew that the rest of the content was really engaging and was driving conversions. How do we get that in front of the most people? And it's by stopping them in their tracks in the first few seconds.
Love it, love it. Okay.
One of the things that we talk about is you don't have to be as linear with your storytelling, that you can actually be a lot more kind of jump about with jump cuts like that, where you can take that little bit from another part of the video, put that up front as almost your hook, and then you get more linear in your storytelling. So you can actually play around with actually how you bring those messages to life.
Awesome. And it sounds like experimentation is the name of the game.
100%. And I know every platform has told marketers that it's test and learn. But I think the beauty of TikTok and how easy it is to create with tools like CapCut or even just in our app, that you can actually quickly experiment, put something up, you're immediately seeing results through things like organic content, and then you can choose what you're actually going to boost and spark.
Awesome. Great. The next video, please.
I have an $800 Princess Polly haul. Let me show you everything that I got. You can use code Ashley for 20% off your Princess Polly orders. Let me show you everything. Oh my gosh. And I also got a pair of shoes. I cannot wait to show y'all these. I think we should do these first. I've been wanting a pair of tall black boots for forever. These are so cute. Here they both are. These are so good. Okay, so I just laid out everything that I got. Let's do a try on. Here's a quick glimpse before I put it all on.
So much good stuff happening there. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so that was one of our really well-performing content creators. and we saw that video perform really well organically and decided to boost it via Spark Ads. And obviously at the beginning you can see the discount code, but we find a lot of engagement actually happens when the little display card with the code pops up. But that video is like, it's amazing because, you know, she shows the boots, like she shows them to the camera, like you can see the fabric of the boots, and she's like really engaged and she's really authentic and she's excited to open her package. And we really, that was actually one of our best view through array creative. And yeah, it was working well for us, and Spark Ads is really driving a lot of performance for us as well.
I think from a creative perspective, it's tapping into the trends of the hauls on TikTok, and people love already showing those off. So when you combine that with the creator's own personality and energy that they bring, their own editing techniques, you would have seen her leaning into the video as she was doing her edits. Those moments, again, connect as if it's regular content. And then the wonderful thing is that I just adore about TikTok is that if you've got someone to be able to watch a short form video through 15, 20 seconds, you can be as direct as this is what the promo code is, this is the display card, this is how you take action. You don't have to try to be subtle about it. It's like, we want you to do this. We've entertained you with our marketing message. If you like it, go do this thing. And I think just being able to be that direct and not have to kind of be subtle or trick people is just so great.
We feel like it's also, people engage really differently if it actually comes from the creator's account rather than from Princess Polly directly. We tried that and we did like an A/B test for pushing that type of content on Princess Polly versus on the content creator side, and it worked really, really well if it comes from the content creator.
That's such a good insight. A/B testing again.
Testing.
Experimentation.
Test, learn, experimentation.
Test and learn, test and learn.
But it's honestly, it is that, like that, right? Like we all just constantly evolve our creative and see what we can do with it. So yeah, it's like, it's such a cliche, like go and A/B test, but you really have to, especially because TikTok is so fast paced. What would work 1 week doesn't mean like it works like a couple months later.
Yeah, this is the thing. And congrats on the success, and thank you for reviewing creative. It's been great to sit through it. And I know we've spoken a lot about trends. Is there anything we might have missed from a trend perspective that you're thinking about at the moment?
Not really. I think it's about looking at the trends and what's the underlying need it's solving. So if you look at, say, that high smile format of the lab format, that's really looking at people wanting to kind of have that understanding and deep information. And I think it's just looking at the trend and identifying how that can match to whatever your marketing message is or your product message. That's from a trends perspective. You can just go onto trends.tiktok.com and keep up with all the latest trends on TikTok. There's an awesome search engine tool that we've got to basically keep a track of, what are the trending hashtags, what are the trending formats, what are the trending songs and audio. Yeah, that's probably my kind of biggest stuff around trends at the moment.
Awesome. Great. Creativity done. I think there's so much good stuff there. We're going to move into attribution and start to talk about measurement, because as exciting as creativity is, it's really important that we're confident that where we're spending our money is proving to deliver results, right? So I know that this is an ongoing challenge in the industry. There's a lot of stuff happening and it's becoming more and more difficult to measure from an attribution perspective. I know that Kim and Brody, you both have unique perspectives and unique ways you measure. So Kim, I'd love for you to go into some detail in terms of how you measure success at Princess Polly.
Yeah, so I think for me it goes back like 4 years ago when I joined Princess Polly. We had like 3 main channels and we were looking at like analytics platform, and one of my main issues is like it wasn't scalable. So we decided to do discount code tests on the platform, which meant we were given certain platforms, certain codes that were unique to the platform. And we even went as granular as giving each platform different codes for remarketing, acquisition and activation. And we really did that test and see like how much code revenue is coming in, right? So when we got the results back, we really saw that the analytics platforms are underreporting by a lot because the code sales did not even remotely match what was reported in the analytics platform. And that's when we really changed our attribution model. So we run brand ads and performance ads on TikTok. Performance ads always have discount codes, and we basically pull the spend that we have spent on these ads versus the code revenue, and we have our true ROI, and then we have our brand creative that really talks to our key values, and we basically still take platform revenue on TikTok Ads Manager with 7 days last click. But I think what I really encourage everyone is to rethink the way you attribute, because it might just limit the way that you scale a channel. I know like discount codes are not for everyone, and it might not work the way your business is operating, but yeah, like what we saw from discount codes, we can see the new customers TikTok is bringing, the returning customers, the true AUV, and the true performance, and even like the TikTok Ads Manager platform was underreporting what we truly drove with our discount code. So yeah, I wouldn't really rely on the traditional analytics platforms.
Brody, you're nodding and smiling, so I'm going to pass to you.
Yeah, I think for me, like 100% I agree. What your analytics platforms or even your ad partner platforms are saying probably is missing a huge part of the picture. And we found something very similar. We don't personally use discount codes to achieve that. We use a combination of some in-house reporting tools for our last click revenue. But beyond that, you know, we have a decent sized presence on Amazon. We have retailers out in the marketplace, and all those things you can't attribute in the traditional digital ways, with whether it be discount codes or UTMs or whatever it may be. So you have to think bigger and think more, I guess, almost traditional marketing like you would with out of home or something like that, and measure uplift and impact from the content that you're running. So whilst our content on paid TikTok does have to reach a certain performance standard, we also take into consideration the fact that if we run an ad for our whitening powder on TikTok and it happens to say this best-selling Amazon whitening product, we will see an uptick in that same market of that product sales on Amazon. Can you one-to-one attribute all of it? No, but it gives you an idea that there's a much bigger knock-on effect than just what you're seeing from an attribution point of view to an uplift in sales and the impact. If we were to turn TikTok ads off in Canada, for example, it would be more than just that last click revenue that we would lose. We would see a decrease in branded search in that region. We'd see a decrease in Amazon in that region. We've done this sometimes by choice, sometimes not, and we can measure that impact.
It's also organically, right? Like we review top products every week, and there are weeks where all of a sudden a product shoots up in the top 5 products, and we're like, how did that happen? And we literally go back and we look at the trending TikToks that feature Princess Polly, and we're like, okay, that TikTok creator tried on this skirt and it went viral, and it's now #1, like sort of top sold product for that week. So yeah, I think like it's really important to challenge the way you attribute to be able to scale channels accordingly.
100%.
That's great. It's a big challenge, and I think it does talk, you both talk really well to the power of review on TikTok and the impact that's having on your business. Great, we will move from attribution into product. Product's really exciting. You guys are all testing the latest products on TikTok, and I know you're having a lot of success across some of the latest products. So Brody, I would love to talk to you about some of the products that you think have worked to date, and then some of the products that are coming in the pipeline for this year and maybe next year that you're excited about.
Yeah, I mean, for us, the most recent game changer has been smart performance campaigns. And I think for us, because we do churn out so much creative and so many variants of creative, and we test that across quite broad targeting to get a feel for what works and what markets and things like that, those campaigns have been a godsend. It means we can literally just upload dozens of variants of creative within a campaign and let the algorithm do the tweaking and the heavy lifting when it comes to your bids and where the budget should be allocated and things like that. And we get a lot of insights very quickly from those campaigns as to what content is going to work, what market that content's going to work in, and that can then dictate a dozen new campaigns off the back of that to really help us scale and jump onto a new winning piece of creative very, very quickly.
Awesome.
I think then future products, I'm really personally excited for anything that means that the user doesn't have to leave TikTok. So specifically shoppable e-commerce and live shopping and things like that. I think those are going to be game changers in the e-commerce space. I'm just really, really excited to see all of that unfold.
It's going to be an exciting couple of years.
Yeah.
And I know, Steph, you were saying the same last week, right? That focus on live and shoppable
Yeah,
commerce.
exactly. So anything that keeps people on the platform, we know that they don't want to be leaving the platform every 2 seconds. They want to stay on there. They want to be able to shop on there. So being able to tag certain products within videos so they're not directed to a landing page, which they might not be able to find the exact product that they saw in the video. So just making that process really easy for the consumer, I think, is going to change the game. But as far as what we're doing right now that's going really well, I think Spark ads are a huge part of our strategy. So we love to test content organically first and see how that's performing and then turn it into a Spark ad from there. So even with our builder style ad creative that we just saw before, when we first started pushing that out, we would get over 1 million views organically. And then once we turned it into a Spark ad, it was just reaching a whole new audience and it took it to the next level. So yeah, that's
Amazing.
really worked for us.
And Kim, slightly different.
Yeah, like we're going to trial smart performance campaigns this week, so I can't really talk about that one. But like my favorite product at the moment is search ads, and I feel like that's just such a powerful tool, and we see a lot of like Gen Z, Gen Alpha shift their search behavior onto TikTok, not just for, you know, product discovery, but just to search. Like I went to the US recently and I looked up like a popular coffee order there, and I went on TikTok and I searched like that recipe, and I literally ordered based on what that person on TikTok told me to order. But yeah, it's like, it's so important. Like TikTok search will become so popular this year, and we trialed it on search ads, and the performance that we saw was incredible. I think it was our highest performing ad format that we had. So I'm really, really excited to see where TikTok takes that ad format. I'm also excited about live shopping. We trialed live shopping before and streamed it onto TikTok, and the view rate that we had was incredible. So yeah, really excited to see what you guys are bringing out this year.
Yeah, I think we're all excited. And Ant, you were mentioning live shopping earlier too, in terms of something you're excited for.
Yeah, just as a creative, I just look at the live experience on TikTok as really unique, even just from an organic perspective. And even if we don't have live shopping yet live as an ad product, I think it's a great thing for, again, we're going to use the word experimentation, for brands to start experimenting with. That you can actually start, there's an e-commerce sneaker retailer in the States that's actually showing their e-com fulfillment for 2 hours a day, where it's just literally orders are coming in or orders are being fulfilled, and they're talking down the barrel of the camera and saying, oh look, Jess has just ordered the Jordan 3s. I've got them in this colorway too. I can't wait for the next colorway. I
love this idea.
I'm
going to go home and we're going to do that.
You'd think that would be not something that would be like interesting in the old world, right? But in our TikTok live experience, it's actually really compelling viewing, and you're seeing 1,000, 2,000 concurrent live viewers.
I love that. We're definitely going to see Princess Polly going live
Great.
for that one.
Well, see, this is why I'm here. Creative ideas.
It's all done. Great. Love it. I'm really mindful of time. We're going to fire into a quick fire question round. So a couple of quick answers to wrap up the webinar. I feel like you guys are experts. You've been on the platform for years now and have learned so much. Are there any top tips you've got for brands who are on that first phase of their journey on the platform, brands that are newer to starting to advertise on TikTok?
I think for me, it's like, don't overthink it. Like, I think we overthought it a lot. Like, we just thought about creative and like what we need to put on to resources. To start off, like, you really don't need a lot of resources. You need someone in the team that stays up to with trends. You need an iPhone, and you need someone that's willing to go in front of the camera, which you will find. But yeah, I think just don't overthink your journey. It will come naturally.
I think, yeah, totally agree. For us, it's, just keep it simple. Spend time on TikTok as a user. See what catches your attention. If it catches your attention, it's going to catch someone else's attention, and use that to spark the inspiration of what to do in your ads. It doesn't have to be a high-polished production. We have the facilities to do that, and we don't for TikTok. It's our creative team out and about in the wild with a mobile phone. It's that simple.
That's so good.
Yeah, I would agree with that completely. So it's like, don't be scared to try something different on the platform. So if on other platforms you're really shiny and perfect, it's okay to have a different expression of your brand on TikTok, because that's what the platform calls for. But to add to that, I'd also say don't be scared to invest in resources. So, you know, get a video producer who's really across TikTok, who's really across the trends, as you said, and develop relationships with creators. So they're kind of the first two starting points. I'd say if you're really coming from nowhere with video content and TikTok, it's, yeah, get the resources that you need first up and content to work with.
Awesome. And anything else creatively to build on that?
They've already actually said all
They've
my
nailed it.
points.
They've taken everything.
And I think it's just finding that advocate in your team or in your kind of extended kind of production team from a marketing resourcing point of view with production companies or agencies that really is willing to embrace this kind of new model and that wants to do that experimentation. Try it with creators, like you said, Steph, or just find someone in-house who can be that initial advocate, build up that confidence and trust in it from a creative point of view and as media platform, and then you're just going to see the results and then you can kind of double down again.
Love it. And then just from our conversations, I think the other build on that is from a measurement perspective, is to think differently about measurement and start experimenting with different attribution methods. And then from a product perspective, we've had some real useful guidance on smart performance campaigns and search ads. Last question, and we laughed about some of these, I think, in earlier today, but your current favourite trend, and then you might have to explain yours too, right?
My favourite one at the moment is the ceilings trend. It's really hard to explain because you need to sing the song, and I will not. I will not do that. But it's basically that trend to that ceiling sound where, yeah, the person that does the trend like starts off really dramatic, and then they start like running, and it's like I saw a lot of brands jumping on that as well and gaining a lot of views. And I think that's like the important part, right? Like you also want to experiment with like non-brand related trends, but yeah, ceilings trends is my favourite one.
You two got a similar trend, right?
Yeah,
Lawns?
look, I'm a white middle-aged male. I'm really into lawn talk, and basically lawn talk, for people who don't know, is just people mowing their lawns and seeing these amazing lawn transformations. It's compelling viewing. I tell you to go on it now.
It's oddly satisfying.
It really is.
And as you said, like, I've just realised I'm a white middle-aged male from our conversation because we're getting the same algorithm.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry,
yeah, it is strangely addictive to watch people mow their lawns and trim their edges, and it's
I'm not on that side of TikTok.
getting the right green, and it's it's
good.
There you go. That's all you needed to learn from this webinar, right? Steph?
Lately I've been seeing a lot of the bold glamour filter. I don't know if everyone's seen this, but it's that filter that's gone absolutely viral. But then it's like people breaking down the filter and what that means and why it works the way it does, and it kind of brings in that educational and informative aspect of TikTok as well, which is always good with our content to really tap into that as well. So yeah, it's kind of taking a trend and then breaking down why it's popular, and people just talking to camera and yeah, giving their views on something, which I really enjoy.
It's amazing.
Cool.
Well, Brodie, Kim, Steph, Anne, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you to all of you for joining us today. I hope you've learned a lot. We'll be following up with the top tips post this webinar. But I'm now going to throw it over to Terence from our team, who's going to go through Terence's top tips.
Thanks, Ted. Terence here from the Client Solutions team, and here to give you my top tips that will hopefully take your account to the next level. Tip number 1, search ads. Not quite what you expected, right? What we've observed is that there's been an increased usage of the search functionality on the TikTok app. And not only that, but we've seen that because many users are using the search functionality to find trending content, sounds, videos, and hashtags, that this has really ramped up the use case for search on the platform. And we see this very strongly, actually, even in the Gen Z audience, where there's even been PR talking about how this audience relies on TikTok as their main search engine. So what does that mean from an ads perspective? As a result of this increased use, the product team has actually made available the search keyword inventory for advertisers like yourselves to show your ads on. Specifically, it's on that results page after a user searches in that specific term or keyword. Now, currently, it is just an extra audience in inventory that you can have access to in the form of a placement toggle. And so there aren't any budget control or targeting for keywords available just yet. But Since seeing the toggle come into the market for access to this inventory, especially in the US, Australia, and New Zealand, a lot of clients have not only seen a jump in their performance results, but also in the insights that they've been able to access in terms of where their ads are showing up. Now, specifically, that's come in the form of a lot of branding terms, product types and categories, but in particular, even competitor terms have really stood out. And so that is tip number one, search ads. Tip number two is automatic targeting. Now, TikTok as a platform is known and shines predominantly for the way in which that algorithm curates the For You feed to the various interests and categories of the user. As a result, this can mean that a user can have a wide array of content categories in which they fall into. And because TikTok Ads Manager at this point in time doesn't have an audience tool that allows you to mitigate that overlap, then unsurprisingly, we've seen over the last 12 months or more that this broader targeting approach tends to do better for performance campaigns. And so because of that, the introduction of automatic targeting has really seen and reaped strong adoption and conversion results across multiple industry categories, especially when paired up with an optimization event towards that bottom of the funnel, like initiate checkout or complete payment. Another great combo for using this feature is using it in, say, value-based optimization ad groups, or what we call VBO for short. Considering VBO can only be utilized in these conversion campaigns that optimize to complete payment, this is a great chance to combine automatic targeting along with it. And further, for those of you who might have some of those brand safety concerns from a minor's perspective, the product team has accounted for this and has removed all under 18-year-olds from that feature and algorithm from a targeting perspective. Tip number three, and something I mentioned just previously, VBO. As your pixel matures and accumulates more complete revenue data, this opens up the opportunity for the account to scale and to really optimize to audiences using that lifetime value data. Enter VBO, which is a bid strategy that allows you to use two different forms of bidding. A manual one called minimum ROAS, which is all about allowing you to set that minimum bid that you are willing to pay for your audiences, and highest value, which looks to target audiences who have a higher lifetime checkout value. Now, between the two, personally, highest value is the one that I really want to spotlight because it's that automated bidding and conversion rate that we've seen skyrocket across many accounts who've been adopting it. And that's really taken these accounts to the next level from a CPA and ROAS perspective. Further, this feature can be used in combination, like many of our other products, with other things such as CBO, campaign budget optimization, and automatic targeting, which over the last 3 to 4 months, I'll be honest, has been that best-in-class account structure for top spending and converting clients here on TikTok. So with enough daily budget and spend, clients have seen that this CBO, VBO structure, it becomes very self-sufficient in the way that it fuels its own complete payment data, in the way that it scales, in the way that it optimizes, and of course, in the way that it converts. Lucky last, and a bit of an exclusive offer to you guys, is Smart Performance Campaigns, or what we call SPC. Now, as our platform has continued to grow and evolve, we've seen results from a performance perspective really fly when it comes to the adoption of automated products like CBO, lowest costs, highest value, automatic targeting, etc. As a result, the product team has combined this into our new SPC product, which is currently in beta and can only be accessed via Allow Listing. This full automation suite really aims to streamline that campaign creation and management side of things by using multiple automation features around the budget, bid, targeting, and creative side of things. We've seen some really strong results in the past month and a bit, and with many clients seeing their SPCs actually rise to the top of their accounts in terms of best performing strategies. Inherently, this is because the delivery system has more control over all the key campaign levers, such as targeting, bidding, creative, and thus more freedom to go into those auctions and to find those best converting audiences per the conversion parameters that you've chosen yourself. So this is Terence's top tips, and I hope you found it helpful.